a new face here, Domonic MacCormac, who now, Policy Coordinator, Sustain US, right? Sustain, no, sorry, that's a good mistake to make actually, which is a Youth Network for Sustainable Development. Okay, you got that. So, you've just arrived here? A couple of days ago. Just arrived. So, first question, obviously, we have when you're meeting people at Bali is, why are you here? What are you doing here, unless you're a delegate? When you're meeting people at Bali
well, we're here for quite a few reasons, actually. As youth from not only the U.S., but global youth, we feel that climate change is an issue that can no longer be ignored. We see all these reports coming out from the IPCC demonstrating how significant climate change is going to be, not only now and some effects have already been seen, but for decades to come. And as youth, we're the generation that's going to be inheriting these problems all over the world. And we feel that it's our responsibility to come here at these negotiations and really press governments to take action. Even Australia actually just recently ratified the Kyoto Protocol, I believe it was yesterday. So that leaves the United States as the only industrialized nation, developed country, to have not ratified the Kyoto Protocol. And that's a glaring spot on the United States record. The United States sees itself as a global leader in every other foreign policy issue. They're always telling the rest of the world that we're world leaders, we're global leaders. But without committing to binding emissions targets, the United States is failing. And it's something that we raised with them in a conversation with the delegation today. And it's not something that we really got a great answer from. So I'm hoping that in the next couple of days, it was a constructive meeting in some regards. They definitely listened to us, and they know that we're out here. They know that we're on top of the ball. They know that we've done our homework and we're watching them. But I just hope that we can continue to foster a little bit more dialogue with the State Department over the next 10 days.
Many NGOs in Britain, NGOs not-for-profits, do not believe in them. And how many people do you fly in at one time? How many people do you fly in at one time? I think that means how many. Do you have to be so many, I think, is behind that question. I'm only guessing. But so, yes, there is a bit of a controversy in the US, in Britain. Some people say that offsetting is not the point. You've got to cut emissions, not push them onto somebody else. So what's your view on that? And I suppose, since the question has been put, what do you... are there too many of you flying around to make this point?
I don't feel there's too many of us. I think our delegation of 20 is a pretty terrific number. It gives us enough people to delegate different responsibilities. It also ensures that we have enough people on the floor to cover all the events that are actually happening. I could go into the process, but I'm not sure if everyone really wants to hear the specifics. But there's many things going on at once, and we need to make sure that we've got enough pair of ears all over the place, making sure that we are up to speed as to what's going on.
Okay, one last question, because we run out of time here. Just going back to your meeting with the delegation, which is kind of interesting. How did they treat you? Did they kind of pat you on the head and say, they're youngsters, we're the diplomats, or did they listen? What was your feeling? Did they listen attentively, and what sort of feeling do you get in terms of their attitude to you as a youth delegation?
I definitely feel they listened, and we really appreciate the State Department actually sitting down with us and making the time to hear the concerns of its citizens. I think that's really important, and the other delegations have definitely been meeting with their youth. Canada met with them yesterday, we did have a dialogue. We posed quite a few questions. The the State Department told us about some of the successes that the U.S. has reached, and it's great to know about those. I mean, we actually had done our homework and we knew about them anyway, but I think it's really important to understand that youth are here, and we we're trying to understand the process even more. I feel like we have a pretty good understanding of what's going on, but we can always learn more. I'm only 24 years old, but so the U.S. State Department is encouraging us in that regard, and we just hope that we can continue to have conversations with them and see how they're feeling next week, especially. That'll be very interesting.
Well, you'll be 1 week older by then. Okay, Domonic MacCormac, thank you very, very much from Sustain Us. Sorry about that. And you got some really tough questions there, but they're the questions that have got to be answered, so we might as well all have a stab at it. And perhaps I should say, just to remind you, that we were talking to Dr. Nambi from India, from the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, and Domonic MacCormac as well. And if you've got other questions, we haven't kind of said this before, but there's no reason why you can send them in now. You can send them by email, you can send them later, and actually we can put them to the people you've just seen, or other people if you want, and email them back to you, or maybe do a feedback one evening. So, and sometimes you hear these things and you're thinking about going into thinking about villages in India, and it's all rather overwhelming if you don't know about it. But if you've got a question when you've thought about it, put it down and we'll try and get some answers. Well, I'm sure Dr. Nambi will be happy to give us the answer and we'll pass it on. So I think that's it for tonight, but thank you OneClimate for OneClimate.net for bringing us this Second Life experience. This is day 3 at Bali. We've got some good people coming too in the next few days, so keep watching. Someone tomorrow is actually it's another person from India who's going to talk about developing country reactions so far to these opening days. So that should be pretty interesting. So thank you very much, and see you tomorrow, same time, same place.